Okay, friends, I welcome you to the Geula Mindset, a new series, episode 1. And in this series, what we're going to do is discuss how to bring the Geula, to reveal the Geula once and for all, bring Mashiach, and discuss what's left, what do we have to do, how do we do it, and practice doing it. That's the goal of this series. Said the Lubavitcher Rebbe in the early years of his leadership as Rebbe that it is only in the final exile, which is a doubled and redoubled spiritual darkness, that we, the Jewish people, have been given the ability not to be bothered by the trials and tribulations in the outside world and to have the ability to overcome them. This, said the Rebbe, has only been given to us in the period immediately preceding the final redemption, the Geula. Knowing this is critical. Now fast forward to 1991, the 28th day of Nisan, Koach Nisan, when the Rebbe told us, in no uncertain terms, he did everything he could to bring Mashiach, and he's not here. And all that he can do is give the job to us. And that maybe one or two or three of us will figure out what needs to be done, do it, and be successful doing it. A few months later, on the 12th of Cheshvan, 1991, 5751 on the Jewish calendar, the Rebbe was asked by a CNN reporter, what does the world need to do to bring Mashiach? And the Rebbe answered him, and you can see the video yourself. He said, Mashiach is ready now. All we have to do is a little more goodness and kindness. A little more than what you're used to doing. That's what he told the reporter to tell the world. And he also said it was already reported in all the publications around the world. Then, on Tes Kislev 5752, also 1991, the Rebbe spoke his famous Sikha, and he told us to open our eyes and see the Geula, to live with the Geula, become attuned to the Geula, and do this by studying Pnimius HaTorah as it applies to the subjects of Mashiach and Geula, and by studying the inner Torah about Mashiach and Geula, the process of doing that will open the eyes of the mind. It's been over 32 years since the Rebbe told us to do it. And now what I would like to do is to help each other apply these lessons and instructions and make it happen now. Allow me to back up a bit. Why am I doing this now? Because when I look at the outside world, I don't see it. I don't see it with my physical eyes. But can I see it with my mind's eye? And that's what brings us to this very moment. It's time to flip the paradigm around. Until now, we've been keeping the Torah like a child, doing the mitzvahs, the hopes we'll be blessed with good things, or doing the mitzvahs because we want to avoid some negative consequences, God forbid. And when faced with a challenge in the outside world, we complain or pray, and say Tehillim, and hope for some divine intervention to improve our situation. But maybe that paradigm is what is keeping us stuck in Gullus, stuck in that paradigm. Something needs to change. And this is what I think we need to do. We need to live our lives as if our prayers are already answered. What do I mean? We all want good things to happen. Why? Well, it'll make us happier. But the end result is our happiness. Then we should flip it around and be happy despite what is happening in the outside world. And then, when we live our life as if our prayers are already answered and we're happy and we're grateful, then we'll bring the blessings down. The New Age world calls this the law of attraction. But it's not enough to do it on a personal level, which I suggest you try. So if you see proof of it in your own life, you'll keep doing it. And then you'll feel so whole and so good that you want it for everybody. And that's Geula, the redemption with Mashiach. Now this is easier said than done, but that's the formula. And to live with this formula, we need to believe in certain fundamental principles. Hashgacha Pratis, divine providence. Gam Latova, everything is for the good. Ein od milvado, there's nothing that exists but God. But yet, He created this world, and He created souls, and He created our bodies. And we are on a mission, His mission, a partnership to fulfill creation by bringing this world to its ultimate completion. And if we stay in tune with these basic principles, then together we can live every moment with joy and gratitude and love. It's full trust in Hashem. There's Amunah and there's Betachon. Amunah is I believe in God, and I believe in all those principles. Yet I still worry. Yet I have some doubt in the back of my mind. I may know it's the Yetzer Hara, but I still feel it sometimes in my body, which means I'm holding two thoughts at least. One is there's a God and everything is good. On the other hand, what if it's not? Or what if it takes a long time for it to become clear to me? Those are just examples. But then there's trust. And trust is when you know all those principles are true and you believe in them so much that your heart is full of peace and tranquility and joy and gratitude for serving Hashem in this world. It's connecting the heart and the mind. And in the principles of quantum physics, in the principles of neuroscience, it is no small matter to the physical world for our thoughts to align with our feelings. Because a vision of an event in your mind is a thought, a series of thoughts. And it's a signal that you're sending out into the world. It's an electromagnetic signal. It's the electricity. But the emotion created from the thought, from the vision, is the magnet to bring it back down. So if we practice having a vision of the future, that is a world of peace and harmony and the end of wars and the end of famine and to the end of poverty. If we could hold that vision in our mind's eye and connect it with emotions of joy, love, and gratitude, then by the law of attraction, we will bring it down. You live your life like your prayers are answered. A vision is your prayer. The emotion is the magnet to bring that vision down into the physical world. But this takes practice. But luckily, God gives us opportunities all the time, several times a day, in the face of challenges and tests, sometimes small, sometimes medium, sometimes large. But remember, the Rebbe told us at the beginning of his leadership as Rebbe that this generation has the power not to be perturbed by the trials and tribulations of the outside world. And this is how we do it. Because no event outside of us can cause us to go unconscious and become worried or angry or feel shame. We're always forgetting there's a step in between an event outside and a feeling inside of us. And that step is how we perceive with our mind the event on the outside. For example, we hear about a bad weather coming, or it's raining outside, and it's a cloudy day. And many people get depressed on a cloudy day. And it seems so natural to be depressed on a cloudy day. Yet it's not the cloudy day that makes us sad and depressed. It's our perception. It's our thought. It's what we we think about when we see the clouds. And then our emotion becomes equal to that thought. It's not the cloud, it's the thought that brings us down. Granted, there are things that happen in life that naturally will make us sad or angry. And sometimes we're given tools from Hashem how to handle those situations, but they're not forever. There's coping mechanisms for that, and then life moves on. And we try to always look at a bigger picture. And the bigger picture is that every moment that goes by is a moment closer to the Geula being revealed in the world for the purpose of creation to be fully manifested down here. And the way we're going to do this is by taking time from our lives, pausing, thinking about the basic principles of life and the purpose of creation and the purpose of our existence, and having a vision of that future that we've been waiting for. And we're going to connect that vision with feelings of the emotion of joy, gratitude, and love. Because gratitude is the ultimate emotion of receivership. When someone is given something, they're grateful for receiving. So we are going to live our lives like we are grateful now. Because the Rebbe said that Mashiach is ready to reveal himself. We just have to open our eyes. But if we don't see it with our physical eyes, we will see it with our mind's eye. And that's why he instructed us to learn everything we could about the inner dimension of the Torah when it comes to Mashiach and Geula, so you can create the vision of what life will be like when Mashiach comes. So you can then practice looking at the outside world and seeing how it's unfolding for the good. And then you'll hold that vision and you'll do extra acts of goodness and kindness. And you're going to invoke gratitude from people who you're doing those acts of kindness to. And then you're going to connect your vision with your feelings. And you're going to invoke the electromagnetic energy of other people's gratitude and love and connection. And no isolation. And no jealousy. And no disconnection with others. We're going to unite Jews and Gentiles, all the good people of the world, and help them fulfill their purpose and the world's ultimate purpose, which is to reveal the Geula once and for all. And when we live that way, moment by moment, day by day, more and more, God will say, we are ready to see the third base of Mikdash brought down from heaven into this world once and for all. God bless you. I love you. Thank you. Let's do this together. We're going to review certain things about Mashiach and Geula, and we're going to practice meditating on our vision and connecting it to an emotion at the same time. And we're going to be so happy. We're going to be living like the Geula is already here with our mind's eye until all our eyes are open.